We're living through a revolution in artificial intelligence, no doubt about it. But today, we're talking about a breakthrough that isn't just about AI getting smarter. No, this is about AI learning how to get things done. A brand new model has just hit the scene, and it was built from the ground up for action.
And this isn't just some minor upgrade. We are looking at a fundamental shift, a totally different way of thinking about what AI is for, moving it from a simple knowledge base to a dynamic, hands-on problem solver.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this is the core idea. The key phrase here is agentic intelligence. For years, we've kind of treated AI like a static oracle, right? You ask it a question, it spits out an answer. But agentic AI is completely different. It's a dynamic agent. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it means the AI can perceive its surroundings, whether that's a software environment or a bunch of digital tools. It can then actually plan a whole sequence of actions, reason about the best way to tackle a problem, and, this is the big one, act on that plan to achieve a goal. So think of it less like a search engine and way more like a super capable assistant that you can delegate complex tasks to.
So what's the model at the heart of this big leap? It's called Kimi K2. And it wasn't just adapted for this. It was designed from the ground up, from the very first line of code, to master this challenge of agentic intelligence.
And it is an absolute heavyweight. The total parameter count for Kimi K2 is over 1 trillion. To give you some perspective, that is one of the largest parameter counts for any model out there, period. But, a big number is really just the beginning of the story here.
Because look, raw power is one thing, but smart design? That's something else entirely. The real genius of Kimi K2 isn't just its massive scale, it's how incredibly efficient it is with all that power. And here's how it works so efficiently. Instead of having one giant brain trying to know everything all at once, Kimi K2 uses what's called a mixture of experts architecture. Imagine it has this huge library of 384 specialized expert networks. Now, for any given problem, it intelligently routes the task to the 8 most relevant experts. So even though it has 1 trillion total parameters on the books, it only activates about 32 billion at any one time. It's like having a huge team of world-class specialists on call, but you only bring in the exact few you need for the job. It's just incredibly efficient.
So how in the world did the Kimi team actually pull this off? Well, it really comes down to 2 major innovations, 2 key things they did differently and how the model was built and trained. First, they had to figure out a way to train this massive, expert-filled model without it breaking down. And second, they needed to feed it the right kind of information, data that would specifically teach it how to act.
Let's start with the training part. The team developed a completely custom tool called the MuonClip optimizer. Its entire job was to solve one of the biggest headaches in AI development, training instability. And the results of this was just stunning. See, a loss spike during training is basically a catastrophic system failure. It's like the model suddenly gets amnesia and forgets everything it's learned. At the scale Kimi K2 was trained on, we're talking 15.5 trillion tokens of data. To avoid even a single one of these spikes is a monumental engineering achievement. It means the training was just perfectly smooth and stable from start to finish. But a stable model is nothing without the right knowledge. And this is where that second innovation comes in. It wasn't enough for Kimi Q to just read the internet. It had to go to a special kind of school, a school designed to teach it how to use tools. The team built this incredible data pipeline that was like a virtual training ground. They created thousands of simulated tools, generated countless tasks for the AI to solve using those tools, and even simulated complex back-and-forth interactions. The model learned by doing, and here's the crucial part. The system filtered everything, so only the successful attempts, where the AI actually completed the task correctly, were used as training data. It literally learned to be an agent by practicing being one, over and over. So we've got this massive, efficiently designed, specially trained model. The hero has its powers. Now it's time for the gauntlet. How does Kimi K2 actually perform when it's put up against the established giants of the AI world? Okay, first challenge. A very practical, real-world task. Fixing software bugs from actual GitHub projects.
On this benchmark, Kimi K2 scores a 65.8, which puts it ahead of GPT 4.1 and closes the gap significantly with some of the most powerful proprietary models out there. And remember, this isn't some theoretical test. This is about solving real problems that developers face every day.
And that agentic training, it really paid off. When they tested its ability to use unfamiliar tools in multi-step conversations, Kimi K2 set a new standard for open-source models, again beating out some major players. This really shows that its special training curriculum, well, it worked.
The results really speak for themselves. Across a whole range of benchmarks, especially the ones that are focused on software engineering and these agentic tasks, the data clearly positions Kimi K2 as one of the most capable open-source models ever released.
But the numbers, as impressive as they are, aren't the biggest part of this story. What truly makes Kimi K2 such a landmark release is what happens next. And that's the punchline. All of this state-of-the-art power, this next-generation agentic capability, it is not being locked away behind some corporate API. It has been released to the world. This release is a gift to the entire AI community because of what it unlocks. It gives developers a powerful new foundation to build on. It's going to accelerate research into agentic AI for everyone. And it could enable a whole new wave of amazing applications and startups, all built on a truly capable open-source model. It really helps to level the playing field.
You know, for a long time, the most powerful AI models have been proprietary, closed systems kept under lock and key. Kimi K2 completely challenges that paradigm, and it leaves us with this one really fascinating question to think about. The best AI was locked away. What happens when everyone gets the keys?